The Sailor Dog. Adapted from the Golden Book of the same name. Out on the sea when the winds blow and the waves splash and the sea bells clang, the wind is called a gale. One day on the stormy sea, a sturdy little boat was tossed by the waves, and in the teeth of the gale, a puppy was born.
A little boy dog. What shall we call him?
Scuppers, that's the best name for a sailor dog.
As Scuppers grew, he braved many a gale. He proved to be a true sailor dog.
I am Scuppers the sailor dog. I'm Scuppers the sailor dog. I can sail in a gale right over a whale. Whee! Under full sail in a fog. I'm Scuppers the sailor dog.
On sunnier days, Scuppers peered out over the sea with his spyglass.
Oh boy, tooting boats, tugboats, slow boats, and rubber boats. I like boats.
Yes, Scuppers was brave and strong and happy. He probably would have sailed on forever and ever. But one day...
We have decided that our family should try something new.
Something new? But Skipper, I'm a sailor dog.
Oh, but Scuppers, there are lots of exciting things to do. Scuppers, we're moving to a farm.
A farm? Forever? I'm a sailor dog.
But Scuppers' parents were sure he would soon change his mind about the country. So early the next morning, Scuppers and his family sailed into the harbor. Their friends were sad to see them go.
Sure, and we'll miss you, mate. You've been a grand old friend.
Ahoy, Scuppers! Have a jolly time on the farm.
Thanks, Captain. I'll try. I promise I will.
Scuppers and his family traveled to the farm on a train.
All aboard!
After what seemed like an endless trip, Scuppers arrived in the country. It was an interesting change from the sea. The one thing that Scuppers liked best about the country was the pond. Often, when he missed the salt spray, he'd take his fishing pole and spyglass and play at the pond for hours. Yes, Scuppers, born at sea, was a sailor. And when he grew old enough, he knew it was time to return to the sea.
Psst, Skipper, wake up. Skipper, today's the day I go back to sea. But I'll really miss you.
Oh, well, take care, matey, and be sure to write. You know, son, I miss the sea, too.
So Scuppers was finally on his way back to the sea. Scuppers walked down one country road and another, until suddenly he heard...
A boat! Ahoy there!
But it wasn't a boat. Now Scuppers had never seen a plane before.
Is it fun to travel in?
Yep.
Does it float?
Nope. But it does ride high in the sky.
But I don't want to ride high in the sky.
Hey, we're cleared for takeoff. All aboard!
I want to sail on the ocean. I'm a sailor dog.
So Scuppers walked on, until just before sundown, he heard...
Hey, look at that. My Auntie Amanda. Auntie Amanda, it's good to see you again. It's me, Scuppers. Oh, Scuppers? Oh, I have a bit of a problem. No problem, Auntie. I'll fix it in a jiffy.
Scuppers did fix the car.
Auntie Amanda, I have a problem, too. I've got to get to the sea. Could you take me there? Well, I could take you to the city. In the city, you can catch the train back to the sea. That would be great.
It wasn't far to the city.
Excuse me, Admiral. Which way to the sea?
Sure, and you take a train, son. That away.
All aboard!
Scuppers got on a train. The train took him to the sea, and his feet took him pattering down the stairways just as fast as he could go. On the ocean was a ship. It was blowing all its whistles.
Ahoy there! A perfect ship for a sailor dog.
Scuppers jumped aboard, and his ship began to move slowly along. The wind blew him.
I'm at sea at last.
He stood on the bowsprit and gazed through his spyglass at the big, wide world ahead. That night, Scuppers threw the anchor into the sea and went down to his little room. He hung his hat on the hook for his hat, and his rope on the hook for his rope, and his pants on the hook for his pants. and his coat on the hook for his coat, and his spyglass on the hook for his spyglass. And he put his shoes under the bed, which was a bunk. And he got into his bunk and snuggled under his quilt.
Oh, I'm so tired. I'm going to sleep like an old salt tonight. Oh.
And he went to sleep. But during the night, too big a storm blew out of the sky. The anchor dragged. The ship was tossed up and down, rolled and shaken by the angry waves. Lightning flashed and water washed over the deck. Suddenly, the ship crashed onto the rocks. In the morning, Scuppers finally awoke and swam ashore.
Well, thank goodness I can swim. Oh, no. My ship has a big hole in its side. It's foggy and rainy. I need a house.
But there were no houses.
There's lots and lots of driftwood, some old boards, and what's that? An old rusty box stuck in the sand. Maybe it's a treasure.
It was a treasure to Scuppers, an old-fashioned toolbox with a hammer and nails and an axe and a saw.
Oh, boy! Ahoy! I'll build a house all by myself out of driftwood.
So Scuppers built a house all by himself. He built a door and a window and a roof and a porch, and he found some red bricks and built a big red chimney. After building his house, Scuppers was hungry, so he went fishing. The first fish he caught never came up.
Oh, golly.
The second fish he caught got away.
It's much too small.
But the next fish he caught,
This is just right.
that night he cooked the fish he caught, and the smoke went right up the chimney. Then the stars came out, and Scuppers jumped into his deep green bed and went to sleep. And as he slept, Scuppers dreamed.
If I could build a house, I could mend the hole in my ship.
And that's exactly what he did. So Scuppers finally had his ship and finally had his sea.
But I don't look like a sailor dog. My shirt is torn, my hat and coat are gone, and my shoes are all worn out. Only my breeches are good. Oh, no. I'll put into port and go shopping.
So he sailed away until he came to a seaport.
Excuse me, I want to buy some clothes just right for a sailor dog.
Certainly, sir. How about this red one?
Too small.
Here's a blue one, just right. It has shiny brass buttons.
Ah, this is the perfect jacket for a sailor dog.
Now, you need a hat. Here's a purple one.
Too silly.
Ah, but what about this white one?
Just right.
Try these new shoes.
Oh, too small.
Or those red ones?
Too fancy.
Then he tried some white ones.
Just right.
Now Scuppers looks like the sailor he is. Back on his ship, when the stars come out, he drops anchor. He takes one last look through his spyglass. Then he goes below to his little cabin. He hangs his hat on the hook for his hat. He hangs his spyglass on the hook for his spyglass. He hangs his new coat on the hook for his coat. And his pants on the hook for his pants. And his new rope on the hook for his rope. His new shoes he puts under his bunk.
Oh, I love to climb into my bunk and listen to the waves lapping against the hull, to the ship creaking and the gulls crying. I can look out the porthole to the stars and the deep blue sky, and I know how happy I'll always be. A sailor sailing the deep green sea. I am Scuppers the sailor dog, of Scuppers the sailor dog. I can sail in a gale, right over a whale, under full sail in a fog. I am Scuppers the sailor dog. I'm Scuppers the sailor dog. With a shake and a start, I can sail into port, under full sail in a fog. I'm Scuppers the sailor dog.